idiot thing, yeah. Idiot, that. We know you know that. Idiot thing, yeah. Idiot, that. Idiot thing, yeah. Idiot, that. We know you know that. Idiot thing, yeah. Man, I just up in a near brand suit now, mind him youth. Idiot thing, yeah. A girl pick me, I walk barefoot and she in a near brand boot. Idiot thing, yeah. Man, I dish, mama dirt and I put them gal first. Yo, a idiot thing, yeah. Buy gal Lexus, mama fi walk and I take bus nurse. Idiot thing, yeah. Idiot, that. Idiot thing, that. Idiot. We know you know that. Idiot thing, that. Idiot, that. Critter. Idiot thing, that. Idiot thing, that. The system designed for the poor man, no stand a chance. And a idiot thing, that. As the clock strike 1:59, them a
Alright, and welcome now to the Roots Absolute with the Idioting Fever, and it's 96.1 on this FM dial. Well, we have a lot of idioting to get through today, mostly on the idioting side, and less on the Roots side. And wow, the Prime Minister a short while ago speaking in at the press conference. Left the island yesterday actually. And he's currently in Washington, and he's trying to strengthen the relation with the U.S. counterpart in order to how they can best trying to apprehend or to get a hold of persons overseas who are sending the Christmas goodies to Jamaica, but the goodies including some illegal items like gun and ammunition. So I think this move's about 10 years too late, but it's supposed to have to start somewhere. But at least he's attempting in a way to stem the illegal flow of legal guns into Jamaica from the US.
Well, I hope he succeeds. I'm seeing some images of him meeting with some of the US senators and otherwise. But and a lot of persons are asking the question, and I am asking the question also: why is it that the deputy prime minister or the national security minister, or even somebody from the Ministry of National Security is not there with him?
That's a good point.
That makes sense. And I know he's Minister of Defense. I understand that, but the Minister of National Security
should be there,
right?
And the commissioner.
Yeah. Because if he's meeting on anything regarding
national
security issues and security matters and stuff like that, I think the man that's at the helm of the security ministry should be there.
Along with the commissioner of police.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I agree.
So what he's gonna relay the information to them? No, man.
The Prime Minister
they should have first-hand information.
Minister of Defense.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that.
But I don't know if his portfolio override the portfolio of Dr. Chang.
He should have brought the Minister of Security
with him. Yeah,
that's it. Full stop. And worse, it's about security matters. Full stop. You never question it. Somebody else can take over the running of the government, because he would probably say, "Well, is the deputy prime minister, so he has to now be in charge of the country while he's out." No, look at that, man. Somebody else can be in charge. The House Speaker, whoever else. There's protocols as to if the deputy, because we've not always had a deputy prime minister. There was a time when there was none. When the prime minister
they were like in the shadow. They're really active.
No, but he can assign somebody and say this person will be oversight.
I mean, like it take on the crime as if it's a prime ministerial issue.
Yeah,
and not the purview of the Minister of Security. It's issues more like if the country come on like attack from a foreign agent, because it's Minister of Defense. That's different. But it's internal. This is criminals we're talking about. So I think it falls under the purview of Dr. Horace Chang.
Definitely.
Not that terrorism thing we're talking about now. It's criminality we're talking about. Criminality.
Yeah. I know Sir Jeffrey Tavares was just edging to make a comment on the story, because he has always been quite critical of the the management of security in Jamaica, and how it is that we deal with certain situation and crime, especially in Jamaica. I'm not sure if he has been following, since he's our international correspondent, the different meetings that the Prime Minister has been having or whatever. Not, I don't know if he's in depth like that to it, following up on what's going on. so
Yes, I am.
I wonder if it's
have you been following up on what's going on?
Yes, I am. I have been following up, and I have this to say.
Yes.
The Prime Minister. Good afternoon, everyone, viewers, and listeners.
Yes.
The Minister of National Security and Justice, Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Minister of Defense, Dr. Harris Chang. Also, an issue wherein Daryl Vaz went to Israel to deal with cyber security. And cyber security falls under the Minister of National Security portfolio too. Yesterday evening it was discussed on my program with Wilfred Radigan and another gentleman, Conrad O'Brien. And the question was asked also, why is it the Deputy Prime Minister could not travel to Israel to deal with the situation of cyber security and other security apparatus?
Yeah.
Something,
You should be there.
something that I don't know.
Hold on for me.
Still not there in
Something
Washington.
that I don't know.
Hold on for me.
Yeah.
It is also questioning why is it that the Prime Minister of the country could not sit down, call the American embassy, our ambassador, said to him, I want to speak to some people pertaining to the security of our country. There are people from the Homeland Security at the American Embassy in Jamaica. There's people from the FBI department. There's people from the DOJ, that's Department of Justice. There's people from the U.S. Congress and the Senate who are stationed in Jamaica. The American Embassy, the American ambassador could have, if he had reached out to the American ambassador, could have organized a meeting, a Zoom meeting, sit down in the conference room of the American Embassy and have that meeting. Same way, when Portia Simpson Miller was Prime Minister of this beloved country of ours, and the crime situation was going out of, you know what. He said, why is it that she can't have Zoom meeting more than traveling up and down with taxpayers' money? So the question must be asked of the Prime Minister of this country. Why couldn't you send the Minister of National Security or reach out to the American ambassador, sit down and have a meeting with all the counterparts within the United States government in Kingston, Jamaica?
A Zoom meeting.
Why did you have to travel to Washington? Is there something that we don't know? Why Dr. Harris Chang have to travel? Why Dr. Harris Chang couldn't have traveled to Israel, now Washington? Is it because of a communique from way back when with WikiLeaks with the current Minister of National Security?
Wow.
What is going on?
Question and answers.
Well.
Is this serious times?
Well.
Wow. Serious, yeah. Because I mean, it's quite strange. Every time you hear about tourism, it's Ed Bartlett. Tourism meeting, Ed Bartlett. Tourism, Ed Bartlett. No question asked. No question asked. No crime, security is not on the Minister of Security. Something wrong. Something is wrong.
And not only that, Dudley and Owen, the question must be asked also, what happened to the Commissioner of Police?
Yeah, yes,
there are so many security meetings all around the globe.
And he's not there.
And he has not attended any of them either.
Something wrong.
He only attended one in Washington, one in Miami a couple of days ago, or a couple of months ago. What about the one that happened in I think it was the EU headquarters in Brussels, if my memory serves me correctly. And same way, other countries could send their national security minister or advisor, whosoever. Why is it that the Prime Minister has to lead a delegation to Washington, D.C.? And also, the question must be asked, as what Dr. Francis said last night on the program, that he wouldn't advise the Prime Minister to have a town hall meeting now, because members of the diaspora are upset with his remarks that he made about members of the diaspora. Yet, It is yet it is shown on his I can find it here. Here it is. Season's greetings and all the vlambalan. Minister Ambassador Audrey Marsh, along with Prime Minister Holness, they're going to have a town hall meeting in Washington. What is the town hall meeting about? To ask Jamaicans to come home and help.
They're trying to get support for the
hold on, Dudley.
The big event in February.
Hold on, Dudley. What event in February?
The possible elections.
They didn't talk about election with this.
The town hall meeting is about getting support.
Hold on, Dudley. When members of the diaspora, two former law enforcement persons, one is Wilfred Radigan, and another one, along with Dr. Rupert Francis and other Jamaicans, who has reached out to Dr. Harris Chang and the government of Jamaica to help in the crime fighting in Jamaica. They were embarrassed by Dr. Harris Chang in a Zoom conversation. That they don't want the help. They can send the money come, but they don't want the help.
Something wrong.
Something wrong somewhere.
Something wrong.
Something right in a John shop.
Something wrong. Well, we're gonna see if this meeting with the PM in Washington will be any fruit security wise. So hopefully, and the Zozo as well, the PMP is so opposed, as the PM was very upset.
Yeah.
That the PMP didn't come on board to support the Zozo extension, SOE extension. So we're gonna see if this meeting and the Zozo will bear any fruit. And we'll see the fruit if we can see any crime reduction in the beginning of 2023.
Well, it's a big thing.
But Dudley and Owen, before we come off of the whole SOE and Zozo and Nene and kind of if you go on YouTube and type in state of public emergency for Honduras, it came up, And what came up was very, very eye-opening, because it does not, although we can compare Jamaica with Honduras, because Honduras deal with gangs, armed criminal gang. But what I'm saying is this: the state of public emergency does not help armed criminal gangs. The Prime Minister of Jamaica said there are 300 gangs that are looking for something like that in Jamaica, a person they're looking for. The question must be asked of the Prime Minister and the Minister and the Governor General, who is the Chief of the King of England, who signed off on these SOE. The question must be asked: you prefer put Jamaican citizens under lock and key to find 300 people with the Zozo? Isn't Zozo in near to Maxfield Park now, where three people were gunned down last night? Those are the questions must be asked.
No, what I say now. What
is the intention of this Zozo and Nene? Is it helping the people of this country?
No, what I say about,
I don't think so.
What I say about Zozo assists in a particular way, in this way. Persons who want to do crime in Jamaica, as I said yesterday, they have the intention, the opportunity, and the willingness. All the Zozo does is take away temporarily the opportunity. That's all it does. The brothers still have the will and the intention. So the Zozo will take away the opportunity temporarily.
Yeah, it's two different things, A Zozo is different from a SOE, A Zozo, they extended the Zozo in Mount Salem, Denhamtown, and those other areas. So the Zozo, they are in the community they have different elements. They have to hold, to clear, and build. So they would have different agencies that will come in if they need person need birth certificates. Those persons would come in if they want to build walls or help persons with whatever infrastructure issues. There's also actually assist with that. The SOE now is a separate thing, because they've a matter of fact on Tuesday they've extended the ZOSO that's in the varying communities. And no matter of fact, they are saying that they're going to go into the build phase in Denham Town next year. So they're going to be building out some houses and some other things. In Mount Salem, they've also extended it, and in other areas they've extended it because they're now going to go into a different phase of the ZOSO. For the SOE now, that's the major issue, is where it runs to some extent in a different way.
You can't get without warrant and all those stuff. And
exactly.
the rights have been take the rights temporarily.
As the Prime Minister said, they're working on they did some work on the legislation or the regulation of the SOE. So essentially what they're saying, that if it is that a person is detained under the SOE, that's what he said. I'm just relaying what he said. If it is that there's no charge within 7 days, they can release them. They should release them, because it will be going through a tribunal, and because of the matter that was brought up, and the young man won, they had to adjust it, and they had to take out some of the things. So he's essentially saying that the SOE that's passed or declared now is totally different from, or not totally, but to some extent different from the SOE that was declared when that the rights were abridged in that era. So
there was a ZOSO in Denham Town about 2 or 3 years ago.
It's still there. It was extended though. As I said, the ZOSO is still there.
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, the ZOSO is still there, and they've extended it into next year, right? The ZOSO was extended Tuesday, right?
But there's one in Denham Town.
The SOE is separate. The SOE is separate. So the SOE,
they're going into the building phase now.
That's for just 14 days. The SOE is just for 14 days. So I think within the week of Christmas or something like that, I think that's when the 14 days end. So they would still probably try and see if they can get the extension. But I know the opposition may not support it. So it's kind of two different kind of things. Yeah.
But Owen and Dudley. I'm not senior Dudley. I'm a bit. Anyway, I don't know why you're hiding the face. You're hiding from Black Beauty. Dudley. The question must be asked of the Prime Minister and the Labour Party government. Are they planning to use this SOE, policy of emergency, for the whole of 2023 too?
Well, I heard you say that you have France had it for 2 years.
You cannot compare France. Well, our legislation is given them 14 days. So unless you'd have to every time you have to reimpose it because the opposition not supporting it. That's the only other way. Or unless they go and they amend it or amend the regulation to say, well, it would be say 21 days or 30 days or whatever it is. But initially, once they call it, it has to be 14 days. It can't be more than that.
But Dudley and Owen, the constitution of the land was not formulated for them to be using the public state of emergency in that way. It was not. It was the state of emergency was formulated in the constitution for natural disaster or imminent threat to the national security of Jamaica. In other words, if a foreign power is invading Jamaica.
Well, based on what he's saying now, 1,000 murders per year is not normal. And the amount of criminal gangs...
Is not him realize it?
And the amount of criminal gangs that are now active in the country. It looks like Jamaica is not too far from where Haiti is at right now. So they're trying to prevent a situation like what occurred in Haiti. So apparently he's taking the steps now for us not to reach where Haiti
Dudley,
is at the moment.
Dudley, the question must be asked of the Prime Minister and the members of both the Labour Party government and opposition People's National Party, especially the Labour Party government. Have they stopped to look on what is going on at the wharfs in Kingston, Jamaica, and ports of entry all around this country of ours? Have they started to look into that?
I heard
what about a place in Trelawney right now that is open? It was given to a company in this country to bring in their goods and nobody there managing it. Do they really want to fight crime in this country? He went to Washington for something else.
Well, as we all know, in Jamaica, crime was used by both parties as a political tool. That's well known in Jamaica. So, because it get out of hand now, it really get out of hand now. So they're trying their best not to do something. It get out of hand now. So that's just exactly as to why we're seeing the level of effort that we put in to try to curb crime. Because it get out of hand, and they no longer can control the crime.
It's a shame and disgrace, do you know?
Really out of hand
because
now.
There is something brewing also within the police federation.
All right, before we go to the federation, we'll have quick. This is one of the biggest idiot thing in Jamaica right now. Sports, football. Coach Carl Brown was interviewed a couple days ago, and he said this is one of the biggest idiot thing in local sports. He says racism and classism is damaging Jamaican football. He got far as to say, George Penna, the first Jamaican Brazilian coach, George Penna, back in the 60s, came to Jamaica. At that time, the players were more middle class Jamaicans than national team.
Right.
When George Penna left Jamaica, about 1970 to the 70s, they selected 10 members of Railway Club. Now we call it Tivoli Garden Football Club. It was Railway Club then.
Yeah.
When 10 members of Railway Club were selected to be the national team, all the support for the program does stop. Because poor people we don't play football in Jamaica. And from poor people come the football dominant, the support for football stop in the country. And that is the beginning of the destruction of football in Jamaica.
What do you mean by poor people, man?
No, he said under George Penna, right? The national team then was like middle class Jamaicans. It was the first Jamaican Brazilian coach. George Penna from Brazil was coach Jamaica back then, up until the 70s. When he left Jamaica, the JFF selected a national team. 10 members of that team were from Railway Club, the club known as Tivoli Gardens. It was Railway Club back then. Now it become Tivoli Gardens. When 10 members of the national team were from Railway Football Club, the support from Club of Jamaica just went. It was cut off immediately. Because
all because of classes and racism.
Yeah, because he's saying poor people now begin to be the dominant force in national team.
Oh. I think what you need to do, Dudley, is to have somebody come on and make we talk sports
and discuss that issue. But when you come to those things, them don't want to come on. I think a cardboard.
Why they don't want to come on? Because they get somebody else.
I get cardboard.
You don't have to get them.
You get cardboard to come himself.
You don't have to get cardboard himself, and they can get other people to come on.
And he says one of the reasons why I say when Jamaica have a local coach, President don't jump. Look at Whitmore there for much years now, and no sponsor. But you have a foreign coach now, and wait until next year. The amount of flood with sponsor because they are a foreign coach, and that to me is a big idiot thing. Trust me, a big idiot thing that.
Well, I don't know if Mr. Thompson know that there is a thing going on in the Parliament right now, a joint sitting of Parliament with the Constitutional Minister and Legal Affairs Minister, Minister Marlene Malahoo Fort or whatever. What's her name again? Owen?
Marlene Malahoo.
Malahoo Fort.
Yes. There's a joint thing going on in Parliament pertaining to the Bail Act. And if that is passed in the Parliament, there's a lot of things in it that is going to breach our Constitution, our human rights, I should say, as Jamaican citizens. And I don't think we should take this thing lightly. But a majority of us just sit down and accept what goes on in this country. The first breach of the Constitution and the human rights of this country, or should I say the Constitution alone, was when the current Prime Minister signed and dated letters
back
to
in,
give to his
back in,
to give
back,
to his senators,
Mhm.
and whosoever it may be. That was the first breach of the Constitution, and nobody did anything about it.
wow,
We
and that-
continuing.
yeah. Well, all right. There's some issue. I think it's affect. Oh no, in Portmore, I get some call from some people in Portmore. A place in Portmore called what's it? Hamilton Gardens in Portmore. About there's a nursing home in that area. I don't want to call it name, but an area, a nursing home, and they have they just put their waste at the front of the property. It's a front entrance, and that nursing home look after persons who are mentally challenged. And they just put their garbage at the front, their waste at the front. They got complaint now, and they put that through the back gate now. And until they say there's a stench in the area when they put their garbage out there. This nursing home in Hamilton Gardens in Portmore, near Christian Penn.
So Dudley, is it that the nursing home don't have a garbage bin that when the garbage truck come, you can just dump it in there?
No, they put it out, but they put it on the outside.
No, man.
In cans on the outside of the road, outside to the back gate.
They need to call in the S. What they call it, SWMA.
Yeah, NSWMA.
And they call the Portmore members, so the Portmore council and persons to come on board and try to remedy the situation, because they say the parents, they say it's affecting, and sometimes the dogs go in the bin, take out the pampers and drag all over the place.
Is Jeffrey shut him out?
And the person in Hamilton Gardens, they're Christian Penn, they are really upset about the situation, because it's a nursing home that holds persons who are mentally challenged. And
that nursing home is owned by a well-known person.
Is backed up in bins. They sent me a photograph of the thing too, right at the back of the property.
Yeah. So they don't have any big as senior. They need to
the skip breaker.
create a big skip or something like that.
They put in drums outside.
No, they need to create
outside, and that is a big idiot thing. Trust me.
Yeah. And then again, probably they have to have some special arrangement with. The municipal corporation about that.
Yeah, so there has no still make it. They want the authorities to come do something about that, because they used the person front is to complain. They put it at the back now, so others the person no begin to complain now, because the same situation but different persons. The back entrance.
So is it Dudley and Owen? Is it that old people home is owned by a well-known people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi?
I'm not sure.
But nothing can be done about it?
Not sure exactly who's the owner, but I can't get the details and bring it out tomorrow. But then for now, they're upset. Cause like Owen and DJ Owen living in Portmore and yeah man, living in Portmore, and I soon go to Portmore live too, so it will affect in a very long run.
Well,
so.
no, not because it is in Portmore, but it is a health crisis that we're going to have on our hand.
Yeah.
And I have family who are property in Portmore, so we affect a lot of persons in over there. So an issue.
Anyway, the nursing home in Portmore.
Hamilton Gardens.
Don't dump on the waste in front of the place and behind on the place. It can't continue to happen. Is it because it's owned by a person of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi? What kind of nonsense going on in this country?
Yeah, man, dumping the waste, yeah, man. Well, boy, Jeffrey, this one is kind of sad now. Remember that lady who have the digital stall in Haphazard, where you went to some time ago?
Oh yes, to get a charger from her.
Yes, she lady who buy socks from. She'll tell me all the socks I need.
Yeah, sell socks for you and Black Beauty. Go ahead, yeah.
she yesterday she got a call that KCC and the authorities they seize her stall.
For what?
Because she has some back money. And she didn't pay her back money, and they seized her stall. Right, 2 persons, the stall was seized. There, they knock off the lock, take out her goods, guard her goods, and seize her stall. Because I think the fee is $1,000 per week. You pay for the stall, $1,000 per week. The digital stalls in Haphazard, the fee is $1,000 per week.
Hold on here, Dudley. if a person who owe you money, I'm trying to drag my memory here, that gives you the right to take out their stuff.
But I think under the when you showed me the contract, they said that if you're in arrears, they have the authority to repossess the stall and seize your goods. That's a part of the agreement.
Then how much money she owes her now?
80 grand.
And that's chicken feed for the prime minister to pay for her.
80 grand she owed. And why she owed 80 grand? Because she took sick and couldn't paid for a while. She had COVID-19 had to stay home for a good while, for about 3 weeks. And then it just started to pile upon her.
You know, we at Roots FM would love to help, but God Almighty know we need help ourselves.
Right, yeah, man. And this lady, she have a foot issue. She can hardly walk, you know.
I know she have a foot issue.
And she have her son going to school, and it's her only source of income.
But couldn't they give her a leeway? Can you bring her in the program come Tuesday?
Yes, I'm going to talk to her this evening, yeah, and tell her yes.
Who do I have planned? I don't have anybody planned for Tuesday.
I'm going to give you a number too.
No. You call her because me not call her on this number.
I'm going to call her, man, and I'm going to call her. And then
you deal with it for me because yes. My Jamaican number not working.
And she need assistance. She need assistance because I mean it's her only source of income. She been there for about 14 years now with the stall, and she just lose the stall, lose all her goods, and the repossess the stall. This
is a serious thing, but I have to say this though. This is very serious. But Dudley, aren't you a producer from Hollywood? Yeah,
That's right.
So if you're a producer from Hollywood, Mr. Damsey, then 80,000 is just chicken feed
Big
for you.
producer, man.
8,000 Jamaican to chicken feed.
80,000 is chicken feed for you, man. Let's sign a check, but why the check no bunks?
It will be I call it robbery.
You know, but on a very serious note, but she needs some help, and I think what we need to do, although we're little but we tell her, we can, same way we help the lady with that child was mowed down by that taxi guy.
Yes.
I think what we need to do, I think we need to just organize ourselves and see what we can do. We can ask Miss Taylor permission or something, and see what we can do to assist her. We can't assist her with the $80,000 because
she need help in two folds. She need help for the business and also medically. So is that tall order? But what we can do for her.
Yeah.
But Dudley, she knows if she keep on doing that thing with the foot that she has, because I spoke to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
She can't continue to cover up her feet like that, you know.
And it can't be exposed again to the dust. So is that I don't know.
It's not really the dust, you know, Dudley. The air helps heal wounds, you know.
Yes.
I'm not a medical person, but being around medical people, they tell me that.
But
is it?
If you was to see the wound, you'll be shocked.
I don't want to see it, you know.
You see me a picture of the wound, and trust me, it's not a good look.
So have she been down to KPH or those places
but
together?
She need some money again to do further medical care with that wound.
Then she have to have money to go down to KPH?
Eh?
She have to have money to go down to KPH?
No man, she went to some specialist, and it's like it must just a cut, you know, it's very, very serious.
Does she have diabetes?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe she has diabetes, you know.
And no, I'm not sure. But she said is it metal at the salt the cutter, you know, near her ankle, you know.
And she did nothing about it.
Like it pies in some part or thing.
She better man she lose her foot, you know.
Right, yeah, it's serious. And because she cannot prove that because then she have to bring somebody who can verify that she was cut by the stall before they can and she couldn't.
So who owned the stall?
Eh? I think the stall
who owned the stall then?
Almost by the KCC and the parish council own the stalls.
Yeah, man, because she live below Crossroad.
Right.
They don't try to pay bloody nonsense.
Mm-hmm. But because she couldn't find anybody to verify who can back up her story that she cut by the stall. She couldn't prove that.
And not only that, Dudley. Not only that, Dolly, if she had taken up that in hand from way back when, then it would be better off for her, but she didn't. She just make it stay there, and now it is it's getting worse.
No, it,
I am
no, it
very
better,
sorry, but
it,
she would have
it better,
to lose
it
her
better
foot.
than 2 years ago.
Pardon me?
It better than 2 years ago.
No, man. She better make sure. Man, she have diabetes.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that part. But
Anyway, it
please,
seems
I'm
as if
saying-
our news technician have some breaking news in the hand there. He's down in the phone there, you know. I don't know if he's getting some news that the Prime Minister get 40 billion to fight the crime situation in Jamaica. Go ahead, Minister.
Not at all. No, man, I'm actually just looking on the video with Sizzla Kalonji tearing up and setting fire ablaze to DJ Khaled's, thing. And I was like, all right. That,
What is that
I
all
don't
about?
know, because
I heard
remember
something
now,
about-
DJ Khaled and Sizzla, they've had a close relation, right? Remember, I think DJ Khaled's son, he's the godfather for DJ Khaled's son, right? And so I know that they've been working together for a long time. Even the last time, the album that actually went platinum that he actually sent the thing for, he came out here and it was a big thing. He did something with Bojo, and he did something with some other artists. So essentially, what DJ Khaled did was to send him that plaque, saying that, guess what, the song is now platinum and it has over 1 million views and sales and all these things. So he sent him the footage, the plaque of that. What happened now is that Sizzla, to some extent, not to some extent, Sizzla is upset about an issue and has an issue with the plaque. It's reported that his name is too small on it and his picture is not seen on it. So, so because he's saying that it's a disrespect, to him as a veteran artist, for him not to have his name bigger on the plaque.
Who the plaque was presented to?
Well, the plaque is for the song, right? That they did on the album. So he did one of the songs. So the song itself came platinum, right? And so he sent him the plaque, showing that, all right, congratulations. Let me say what the plaque was.
So what on it? So when you get a platinum plaque, is that a standard?
So it's
not one standard thing. Everybody want design different.
Yeah, everybody is the same standard. So it says presented to Sizzla to commemorate the RIA or the RIA platinum certification of more than 1 million copies of the We the Best Epic Records album, Father of Haphazard. So essentially it was saying that it's presented to him to commemorate that. But the thing is, since the image was not on it, that's one. And also the name, it was right. It was in a small box. The name and all of that I just read. It's in a small box at the bottom. So him tear it
Owen and
up and
Dudley.
he burn a fire upon it.
So Owen and Dudley. When Dudley goes to the award in Hollywood to collect his award for promoting our filming movies, if Dudley Thompson name is too small, that's what he's gonna do. I never hear such nonsense in my life.
Everybody is saying that they can't believe that he did that. For after they have been doing so much work together. It comes down to this. Apparently,
Also,
or allegedly, the name is too small. I don't know. I don't get
Something wrong with me.
it.
Something is
an
wrong with
insult.
us.
Yeah. So that's a lot of persons are sharing it and they're saying they're not sure exactly why he had to go to that extent. Not just tearing up the thing, putting fire upon it, oil it, gas it or whatever, and burn a fire upon it. Yeah.
Rasta not
So,
thing, yeah.
It is
Bloody
really,
hell.
everybody's really wondering what's really going on or why he did that,
yeah,
Idiot thing,
I
man.
heard about artists sometime when they go through sometime they make some requests that are like those
Ridiculous.
One time I make a chance to go on a tour and request that the hotel room be freshly painted. Freshly painted.
Has to be. Hmm?
Yes, and the bed must be it was a brand new bed, and the room must be fresh. Like going like like in the morning, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The room was painted and done and dry by midday.
So Dudley now. So when you going like go to Times Square to film one of your movies, and you're gonna say the penthouse up by Trump Tower.
And the road was freshly paved.
Oh, with the dirt in the money. What a banger.
Sidewalk must be scrubbed properly.
Boy.
And the entire building must be painted 1 hour before I reach.
In what? In green or orange? Which one?
None.
Blue.
Purple. 40s.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, Lord.
Chino.
If it's green, it's Brazil. And yellow. Not the other green. Not the other green. Brazil.
So Dudley, before we go, tell us a little about your filming up in the hills of Warwick Hill and Upper St. Andrew, because I heard that you went up to the areas of the Vumvavon, the Vumvavigo film, you know.
Well, alright. It's a movie entitled Wind Rush. It's actually a mini-series, actually. And it is based on it's a vertical named Jelani, upcoming artist. The movie is based on this. Jelani is an upcoming artist, and so overseas partners want to finance his career. So the money was sent down to finance his old musical journey. So the guy now had the briefcase of money into the car, and he went there and stole the money.
So it was actually US dollars in the briefcase, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, yes, US dollars. 1 million US.
What?
To finance his career.
That means you can pay the lady $80,000 because 1 million US. Oh, and you hear that? Oh,
I'm hearing.
1 million US come down to finance his career. And they had the money in a briefcase, and he was in the car now. And saw the money and said, what? I'm there hungry. And take out the money. Take out the ticket full of money.
Lord have mercy.
And to the money, it's to his friend. And his friend now run with the money now.
Lord have mercy.
So that's it. So the money that's the money will cause over enemy. Every friend out enemy over that same money.
And that now, means, you know, when we're having coverage of local government election, you know, is that we're gonna have high-tech cameras in the studio.
Lord, I tell you. Different thing.
Because they're gonna fly to Miami and buy some high-tech stuff.
That's right.
The people are showing you how to follow me.
Yeah, well, you have it, man, at the big videographer, not photographer, but videographer. I tell you, man. But before we go,
congrats to the nurse at Mustard Seed who graduated yesterday.
Yes.
They did the online training course, and they say it was a graduation up by UTech. 44 nurses graduated from Mustard Seed, and it was a nice occasion to see them.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that's a rootsy.
Did you cover it, Dudley?
Yes, it is on video. Yes, I video part of it. Yes.
Okay, that's very good.
It's a very good occasion for to see the young ladies all decked out, well dressed, and receiving their certificates, and they fulfill they did completed their course and they all passed.
That's very good. Congratulations to them, and you know, and to the whole Mustard Seed community who continue doing marvelous work.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, tomorrow is Friday the what? Friday the 9th, I think.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Friday, and we I don't know if we can have a party tomorrow, because we're definitely going to celebrate the birthday of him there with him talk and all these things. Jeffrey Tavares, yes. We're celebrating his birthday tomorrow, so we might have to go have a little party on here or something.
Yeah, man. We're gonna finish some bag juice.
What?
You see, I don't drink bag juice from this, no matter that.
Yes, man. But you know, we bless you up when it comes tomorrow. You know.
So your birthday is December.
Getting there.
December 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, and that famous comrade passed on December 10th.
Huh?
Who?
Huh?
That comrade passed on December 10th. That comrade.
Oh, you mean my good friend, the Honorable Michael Norman Joshua Mandley?
Fundamentally.
And Bruce Golden was on the. My grandmother was on the 2nd. I think Bruce Golden was on the 3rd.
Okay.
And I think Portia is going to be on the 12th.
Interesting.
But December has some very famous people, you know.
That's
Some
right.
people say boom for on the boom for V.
Yes, I say you're born on the boom for on. On the boom for V.
You hear you? Yeah, you know, because when we're trying to call you because you're filming your Hollywood movie, you couldn't answer your phone.
Well, I was in some place where I shoot some scene and I didn't know that it was to rent to move to rent prop guns in Jamaica, 50 grand per day
Wow.
to rent stuff for 6.
Wow.
But if you get $1 million, Dudley, how much is $1 million US in Jamaican currency? Before we go, it's 154.
$1 million US, 150 something million.
Then that's chicken feed for Dudley to get. Come on, no, man. When Dudley done this, he'll be driving a Range Rover or a Lamborghini.
No, a bicycle.
Yeah? That's true.
Huh?
A bicycle. So,
Gentlemen, thanks very much.
Yes,
But we
man.
get yourself prepared for the gentleman who's coming on now with his what was his name again?
DJ Daniel.
DJ Daniel at
Yeah.
the turntable.
We'll make way for going on the JS feature right now. And we'll make way for DJ Daniel here on Roots FM 96.2. They come to the end of an extended Roots Absolutely. 96.1 on this your FM dial.
To the Vision of the Man program every Saturday right here on Roots FM at 9:45 a.m. where we show you from the scriptures that it is imperative to point lost humanity to the cross. Knowing the terror of God, we will persuade men. So friends, tune in to the Vision of the Man program Saturdays at 9:45 a.m. right here on Roots FM.